WWE Hell in a Cell 2018 is in the books. This is my official review. I don't know why I called it official review. It's as official as you think it is. It's my review of the 2018 Hell in a Cell show featuring the return of Brock Lesnar. Now, this was kind of a big shock, and it's also something that was unexpected because as far as I know, Brock Lesnar is still going to UFC or trying to go, and is still supposed to be fighting next year. But PW Insider broke the story that he was there backstage, and it looks like he is indeed there, and he is signed a new contract with WWE. Now, I don't have details on anything about what Brock's contract is. I'm recording this video review right after the pay-per-view ends, so I haven't really had a chance to look at anything when it comes to that. But that being said, though, he did come back in the main event of this show. So there was a lot of good stuff on this pay-per-view, and there was a lot of bad stuff on this pay-per-view, and I mean really bad. Brock coming back was cool, even though he looked a lot smaller. Obviously, he's in the USADA testing pool, so he's not going to be taking any, things. But that being said, he's had a goatee, which is great, because Brock used to have one in UFC at one time, and it looked cool, more barbaric. Came in there, attacked both Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, leading to a no contest. I don't like the idea of a no contest in a Hell in a Cell. Like, Hell in a Cell is supposed to be a blow-off gimmick match, and I guess it hasn't been one for years, which is kind of bad. But that being said, I didn't like the finish. I like him coming out and laying out both guys, and that's fine. But the fact that we got no pinfall really feels like we got cheated out of an actual finish. So the idea, I suppose, is going to be a Lesnar versus a Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns three-way feud. That's the idea. Apparently, a lot of people who were there live, from what I understand, were not happy about the non-finish. In fact, none of the feuds on this show really had a true blow-off. This was just a continuation of the storylines. And, I mean, I'm fine with that. It's just that Hell in a Cell should be saved for something that's really like the end. Paul Heyman came out, sprayed Mick Foley in the face with what appeared to be some kind of mace or something. Then Lesnar laid out both guys. There was some stupid stuff in this match. So, before the finish, Roman and Strowman are both in the ring, and they're selling for about... Okay, so they're selling some moves. Then Ambrose and Rollins come out. First Ziggler and McIntyre come out and try to interfere. Then the Shield comes out, and basically they have a brawl all over ringside. They go to the top of the cage. Ambrose has a kendo stick. He's whooping everybody up. It was pretty cool, but the whole time I'm thinking, why are these guys laid out in the ring still? Like, Strowman and Roman are supposed to be two guys that have always been booked to be very resilient, and they're sitting there laid out in the ring off of what, like a spear through a table? I don't even remember what the spot was. And they're there just in the ring while all this stuff's going on for about what felt like an hour, but it really was like 10 minutes. Rollins and Ziggler did a spot that kind of resembled the original 97 Hell in a Cell spot that Shawn Michaels did, where he fell off the outside through the announce table. They both did it like stereo together. And that was cool, but it was also like, dude, like, why are Strowman and Roman just laying there? Like, it took way, way, way too long. Lesnar kicks the door and, of course, lays out everybody. I guess, like I said, they're going to keep doing it. The match itself, like the Roman-Strowman match, was really... It was unintentionally hilarious. There's a spot where Roman runs around the ring, and he's going to hit Strowman with a Superman punch, and he ends up getting caught in the face with the steps. It literally looked like something out of the Roadrunner cartoons. Like, it was just... There was so many wacky things. Like, there was one part where Strowman gets like a near fall, and Foley screwed up a couple times. He counted the 3 on accident. I don't know if he was tired. I mean, the guy is banged up. But Strowman goes, "You're ruining my life," or something like that. Like, "You're driving me crazy," something to Foley that made me laugh. The facial expressions on these guys was really, really funny. Yeah, the main event, I mean, it was fun to watch. The match itself, they worked hard, but the finish was just a big letdown. So, that's my opinion. Now, the real highlight of the show was AJ Styles Samoa Joe. I mean, look, if you've been a wrestling fan for any length of time and you followed the independents or just the international scene, you know what good these guys can do. This was a really, really good match. Way, way better than the SummerSlam match, in my opinion. They went out there, they did a great series of moves. Really enjoyed the match. The finish was one that was, again, a non-finish in a way. It was a finish, but it wasn't like a conclusive one. AJ went for the phenomenal forearm. Joe, ducked out of the way, got behind him, put the choke on him, the coquina clutch, gets him down, or he's about to get him down. AJ rolls back, and the ref counts 3. Now, this was essentially the WrestleMania 8 Roddy Piper Bret Hart finish, very similar to it. Or if you remember this one, the Survivor Series 96 Steve Austin Bret Hart roll-up finish. It was the same thing where the guy rolls back during the sleeper hold. The difference with this finish, though, which I loved, I totally loved this. This is how you do a non-finish right, is that AJ Styles tapped out to the choke. As the ref counted 3, AJ tapped out before the 3 count was made on the other side, so you couldn't see it on the hard cam side. You had to show the instant replay, and then they showed the other side where AJ did tap out. But you couldn't see it. The ref couldn't see it. Great finish. This is how you keep the feud going. Joe had him. He tapped out, but because of the camera angle and the referee not seeing it, it was a non-finish there. Also, they had Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella against The Miz and Maurice. Brie Bella, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm really not, but she didn't look very good in the ring. Maurice, I don't think Maurice or Brie Bella looked great. Really, Maurice might have been the weakest link here, even though she's a former women's champion, or Divas champion, I think it was called back then. Of course, the heels won. Miz and Maurice won. Maurice pinned Brie, reversing a cradle. Reversing a cradle, excuse me. It was okay. It wasn't... The feud's not over yet, obviously. It was fine. Then they had Ronda Rousey, Alexa Bliss. Much better than I thought it was going to be. Rousey's really good at selling, so she is getting better. 12-minute match. She looked a lot better than she has as far as the overall package goes. Great selling, great facials. Mickie James and Alicia Fox were there. Natalya was there too. Some shenanigans there. Rousey made her come back. Did a really cool version of her Samoan drop, which was more like the Green Bay plunge version. The one that Ken Kennedy used to do back in the day, 13 years ago. Seems like forever, right? Anyways, then Ronda, of course, put the armbar on and won. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. Much better. So, Ziggler and McIntyre against Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I didn't see the entire match, but from what I saw, it was really good. I was surprised they didn't change the belts over, but after the main event, I see why they're holding off on that. McIntyre is going to get a push. This guy's going to be a world champion someday. People were saying that about him back in 2009. Now I really do believe it. He's got everything. He's a great wrestler, got a great look, great heat. He's the whole package. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. And by the way, obviously I'm not going in order. I'm just giving you my review. I was surprised that Lynch won. I was actually surprised that she won. And it was a cool finish. Charlotte went for a spear, and the momentum kind of rolled over, and then Lynch got the pin. And I thought they were going to do a Charlotte heel turn. I thought it was going to end with that because, when Becky turned heel at the last pay-per-view at SummerSlam, people didn't like it because she didn't do anything wrong. She was rightfully mad at Charlotte because Charlotte was kind of the not the cheater, but Becky had this really sympathetic storyline going for her all throughout the summer, and she got robbed. But that's not what happened here. Lynch was the total babyface. She was loved. Charlotte wasn't booed or anything, but it does seem like when she won, it's felt like they're going to go with a Lynch face run because she really acted like a face and she did not attack Charlotte or vice versa. So Charlotte was going to shake her hand, but Lynch didn't do it, which was kind of a heel move, but not really. I don't know where they're going to go with the storyline, but I know that this feud's definitely far from over, and I liked the match. I really did enjoy the match. Then Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, Hell in a Cell. Look, they did this spot. They keep doing these spots where Orton's messing around with Hardy's ear, and it's really disgusting every time they do that. I don't like that. It just looks weird. I'm not a fan of it. Jeff Hardy, of course, the finish was, he was dangling on the cage and he fell through a table. And it was a really nasty looking spot, but you could tell that he was okay. In storyline, he got sent over to the hospital. People have been talking about Jeff Hardy possibly retiring. Matt Hardy seems to be done. I mean, that's what we're getting from what all the reports coming out, and Hardy straight up saying that he's done, he's going home. So I don't know where that leaves Bray Wyatt. I honestly have no idea. Maybe I should ask him. I don't know. But you know, this feud, Orton and Hardy always have good chemistry. They always have good chemistry, but I wonder where this feud's going to go now. I feel like the feud at this point, it should pretty much be over, honestly. I don't know where they go with Randy. Maybe they go with a Randy AJ maybe in a couple months. The Joe stuff's not over yet. I just don't see the Randy Orton Jeff Hardy feud continuing after this. This is the one match on the show that felt like an actual blow-off, although we're probably going to get a rematch in a different gimmick match soon. So, and then the only thing else to talk about was just they had Kofi and Big E against Rusev and Aiden English. Just a basic tag match. There's not much to it. So, my thoughts on the show. A lot of stupid stuff on this show. There was a lot of stupid stuff in the main event. A lot of cool stuff, too. Really, if you didn't see this show, you can watch the main event if you want. There's a lot of brutal stuff there, and you'll laugh a couple times. But really, what you're going to want to watch is AJ and Joe. They had a great wrestling match. Joe's got his TNA 2005 haircut. If you saw TNA back then, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it was the best match of the night. I don't know if it's on the level of those old matches, but it was as close as they've come so far. And really, that and the tag match are worth watching. And the SmackDown Women's match. You know what? The main event might have been weird, but the show had a lot of good matches on it, so really I can't give it a thumbs down. It's more like a thumbs in the middle leaning up. Like, there were good matches on here and good moments, so I really can't trash it, but it was definitely not a blow-off show. There's still more stuff to come from most of these feuds. I just can't see Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy continuing. So, overall, that's it. Those are my thoughts on Hell in a Cell. Better undercard than the main event. Some good stuff here. Everything after Joe and AJ, though, like if you're looking for, you know, good action, it falls off a cliff there. That was the real main event of the show, and it was really, really good. And I hope they keep this feud going forever, because those guys can wrestle forever, and I won't get tired of it. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and we'll talk soon.